Why hello there, fellow animal handlers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Vault Builders. Episode 17, Bad Blood Boars and Empowered Sibs. I think it would be wise for me to go biofuel refinery. Maybe I'm going to put it here and send gifts to potential allies. Because I've got a lot of junk now. And it would be great if I pod junk to people. Because I don't need a big old pile of junk myself. We need a research project. Back to Gunlink. That's going to help the Professor K and Rod who can't aim worth a damn. So, very impressive room now. That's, it's not technically a bedroom, so that doesn't really help Golan, but everybody else is going to be pretty happy with that. If I start smoothing out the hospital, he could sleep in the hospital bed. And then he would have an impressive bedroom. So I could consider that as a alternative for him. He's a special little snowflake that complains about everything. Oh, right. Moxy's, getting gene modded. So, Killjoy's out in 8 hours. Whether this is successful or not doesn't really matter because I can miracle kill him with Sapo now. And then Moxy, will have her first power. Who goes after Moxy? I guess that will really change. And, I'm going to hide this because it depends on her disability. If it's like a crippling weakness, obviously you're going to vote Moxy. And if it's not, you might vote someone else. So, I'll wait until this is finished. And Crimson, let's go ahead and hook you up with an art bench. Looks like I need steel, so Sapo will come up here and mine. But hook you up with an art bench, so that you can start making art for stuff. Oh, and if I want steel, let's first just shred mechs. That's going to be the easier way to do it, because there's a lot of mechs here. There's also, like, ancient debris, which will shred to... It did not... Oh, of course it didn't. Alright, Sapo's coming. I got a 50-50 whether it would heal my brain injury or not, and the game was like, haha, no. Alright, Killjoy is on his feet, thanks to Sapo going, whoosh, whoosh, your brain is normal. Like you do. I like how I managed to do the whole Biosculptor path, and then the game was like, oh, you don't need that. Alright, this isn't very impressive. I was going to give it over to him if it was more impressive, but it's not. What I can do is to remove the walls and replace them with marble. But Gunlink is researched. Let's get marine armor. No, you guys are actually mining. Sapo, I kind of wanted you to smith. Sapo's healing is like a cure-all, as far as I know. He's like a miracle healer. So, as long as the target is living, it should work. It's slightly impressive now. Yeah, it's basically lay hands, exactly. Is that enough for What's his name? Golan? Let's see. Needs... Yep, that satisfies him. Okay. We'll just give it to him. It's fine. Gentle Wild Boars. The Universe Chief wants us to host Boars. It would be a kind of indirect way to get Nats in here, who's cooking. Hey, cooking! If we want to cook, a cooking psychopath. And it is 2 wild boars. They have blood rot. Do we host the boars? So this is a way to get a new recruit without getting them as a super soldier. It's up to you guys. And I just hooked Crimson up with the go make art. So she's going to try to make art for her own meditation. It looks like you guys want me to host the boars. The question is, what reward? Because I could go with this shock lance in silver. Granted, I have the ability to do shock lancing with my mind, so maybe that's not so helpful. I assume you're going to want the cook, but what reward? 1, 2, 3. So 1 is the shock lance in silver, 2 is Natson, and 3 is goodwill. If you want to troll me and vote goodwill, you're welcome to, but, you know, whatever you guys want. You the boss. The other thing we're doing is slowly changing the makeup of the walls here from steel to marble, and I can expand the building a bit as well. And this should improve the quality of the room. I do intend to double insulate, but let's also make chemfuel from wood until we have, like, 200. Okay, you want me to get Natson for the boars. So the boars are going to arrive. They have blood rot. We will tend their blood rot with, like, industrial meds. I don't want to use glow oil meds to cure them. But, the 2 boars, Dawn and Frankie, will be put into the pen. What did I just... No, don't free. I didn't mean to do that. And then we have another pond to play with. Once that's all said and done. Did no one... Where are they? Oh, yeah, they're just wandering around. They got tended to. We have so many industrial meds, it's like not a big deal. Moxy! So this is a real choice. And I'll read the choices to you. So the left choice, Ice Breath. It sort of hits them with like super cold hypothermia, frostbite, and easily enraged, this pond will initiate social fights every time they're slighted. Or the right, Summon Lightning. The ability to summon a storm, and then always knows best, so she'll never learn anything new until that gets cleared. So here's the choice, and I'll give you just a minute to vote on it. Left or right? Storm Summoner. Got it. I'm just going to call this one early. Alright. Hoodoo Gene Taylor. We can stick Moxy back in there if you want her to start to be able to learn, or whatever you guys want. But now she's a storm summoner. If you're wondering what that looks like, let me go hit the alpaca with it. Pretty rough. If she was invisible and she hit like a siege site or something with that, you know, you could really rough them up fast. It's very localized lightning. I kind of wish you could hit a solar panel with it or something. That'd be really cool. Like, haha, lightning on my well, I guess a solar panel, that's wrong. Like a lightning rod, but you know what I mean. And it looks like you guys want me to remove that off of Moxy. The never able to learn. So we'll stick her in there too. It is a 40% chance of failure. Cross your fingers. And I'm going to run a prediction now. Whether it is successful or not. I have so much power, I don't even know why I'm turning these things off. Alright, we're finally getting some sculptures. And I'm gonna just line them up around the dining room. Maybe I'll actually... I'm gonna change the layout of this a bit. Not there. I want to make more room. So that we can have like a whole bunch of sculptures in the center of the room to allow for Crimson, as she makes art, to be able to do her art and then benefit from it meditating-wise. So any art plops there, critical. That way I notice when there's new art. It's kind of an awkward space for that comms console. I'm gonna move it. We have this. We have the materials. And there's a few spots that now can get changed up. I'm just going to stick the comms console back here. I know it's a little weird that I moved it, nudged it a wee bit, but whatever. Ooh, I saw some flirting. Someone was flirting with someone. Question. Should I use dev mode to trigger a deserter quest? They used to be coming in kind of frequently, and they dropped off the list. So, what do you guys think about that? Just to get the ball rolling? It's a quest, it's not a reward. So it's not like I don't feel like it's as cheaty as like, ha, give me a reward or something like that, you know? But, what do you guys think? And this dining room is getting even nicer and nicer. Hey, Camino, you want the nicer bed? There you go. Didn't someone ask about quest not popping up earlier? Yes. Oh, Frankie's pregnant. That's gonna be awkward. I don't really want boars. Yeah, Stochastic Turtle asked, and I said, nah, I was getting lots of them, but then they kind of stopped. Now, the thing is, you can trigger your own quests. Once you have intel, you can use intel to gain more intel as like a positive feedback loop. It's just, I don't have the initial intel to do that, and we just haven't had a natural quest offering in quite some time, so... That's why I wanted to pose it as a question to you all, is like, should I put my, you know, use some dev mode tools to trigger these things, because we've been waiting a pretty good amount of time now for it to naturally occur, and it just hasn't. Sapo, you are upset? I don't see that. Oh, yeah, all the dead bodies here. Oof. Moxy's been tied up, so she hasn't had the time to do it. It looks like you guys say yes. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until after the host, because it's not like I'm likely to go anywhere needing to host these guys to keep them alive until they're done. But I'll keep that in mind, that if I don't get a natural quest offering by the time we're done with this host, I'll trigger one myself. One of the issues that I don't like about the hosting people is how long it takes for, especially when it's a long host, for you to be done with it. They stick around for so long. Furious Beasts. Bomb pack. So, if you're wondering what a bomb pack is, it's kind of like a wider, it's like a weaker doomsday launcher that you have to set up on the ground and then explode manually. It's nice, but like it's a little hard to use. Yeah, I don't really care. I'll be honest. I'm just gonna pass on that. It would be super easy to do, but it's just not worth my time. What I will start to do now that we have chemfuel is to send excess stuff to allies or potential allies. Share the wealth. That makes sense to me. It's funny that we never got around to making that a dining room. It's like nice and smooth and everything. Just never bothered. Wall off that section to the killbox? Yeah, it's probably wise to separate it out like this. I mean, not that the horses go out there anymore. But this is all like destructible stuff that enemies would smash into nothing if given the chance, so we might as well protect our investments. Transport pod. This is more about just like getting rid of the stuff we don't want than trying for profit or anything like that. So, leathers, smoke leaf joints, yayo and flake. Because, you know, any of the drugs that you have around that you don't intend to use, you could potentially binge on, even if you didn't want to, and then die. It does pose a risk. I could send the dead bodies. But all of these, like, stupid weapons that we don't use. The bio-coded weapons, I know they don't I mean, they're not worth anything, so it's not like I'm going to get money for them, but it's a way to tidy up. Basically, it's like, hey, take our trash, you're welcome. And they get to be a little happier as a result. So some of the nicer weapons I'll keep. I think I'm actually going to send them the charge cyclers. So I don't really need them. And I'll keep the armor and... Yep, that looks about right. And that's about a full pod's worth. Almost. Let's send it. The question is, do we send it to the Pious Path? Or, yeah, send it to the Pious Path. I mean, I am already questing for them right now, so that makes the most sense. Moxy is brain dead. Okay. No, she's not. So it failed. Prediction. Conclusion. It was not successful. I'm going to send her back through it in just a moment. But we have another Gene Taylor pod right here, full of fuel. You know, chances are the other sealed vet... no, we have 8 days on that one. Okay, so I should send someone out to that before too long, so we have a regular supply of vault material if we want. But let's remove the weakness and run another prediction. You guys are like burning through channel points for those that are voting yes and losing, because it was like a 94-6 or something like that in terms of that prediction. But I'm glad that she wasn't dead. She was just brain dead. We'll bring her back for nothing. Pretty fortunate, I think. Moxy is our only plant cutter, so we're not building that door because of lack of wood, but we'll get there once we have the material. I did choose to expand the kitchen a little bit because I think the likelihood of me actually formally moving the kitchen is pretty low, so I'll just start using what I have here rather than imagine it someday I would like have a proper kitchen. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Not unless this has a continuation, which it might, as I mentioned before. It'd be good to start making the external facing steel obsolete, so I'm going to break that down and replace it with stone, so that fire is not a cause massive calamity. And Crimson's grinding through the art. It'd be a little bit faster if I had tool benches on that thing. Because I know it's in the cold. Actually, I don't want her to do it fast. I'd rather have her get more skill with the material than produce a lot of art. So, maybe it's fine. It's at the speed it's at. Okay. Horses got the plague. Fortunately, it did not stack on the boars. So not great for the horses, but the boars aren't going to get double tapped with blood rot and plague. I did choose late September to break down this wall, which means it's a refrigerator, even if it's not frozen, because of how cold it is outside, which is fine. Pet the dogs? Hey, bud. No, don't try to convert me. Don't make an enemy out of me. So we got a lot more room to... Oh, I gotta build that one. We got a lot more room to play with for a kitchen. Which is gonna be pretty handy. Did I work drive you correctly? No. Who the hell did I just combat commanded. Oops, that was a misclick. Shoot. Oh well. You like Frostborns, which is nice to see a series with more tech options. I get that. This one has all the tech options. Hey, Kilgore. How's it going, man? Thank you for the resub. So, guests. 13 more days. Boars. 18 more days. And not much else is happening. Besides that. We're waiting on some more art. And then, hopefully a quest being offered by the deserters to help them out. So that things happen. Because they really haven't been happening. I might want to set up the freezer to take advantage of the cook that we're going to get, though. Because the quest reward for hosting the boars is someone that can cook. So I'll start to set up separate the butchery from the kitchen so that the butchery isn't making the room dirty and increasing food poisoning odds. Ooh, finally! Some action. Got a whole lot of mechies. Okay, cool. I think the right approach here is to do something like this. Sapo, get building on that. Everybody else behind the walls except for Sapo. So the plasteel is to reinforce the walls because these turrets are going to shred the walls otherwise. And just to let them come right on into our base and get murdered by our turrets. And then Kilgore will take out as many as she can. They are prepare a while, so maybe this wave I'm going to hit with Kilgore. Not Kilgore, Crimson, sorry. Excuse me. Old habits die hard. Nice and smashed up. And Sapo, you can be behind the walls too. Reassessing the behind the wall zone. Okay, that looks correct. You miss your laser eyes? Haha, me too, man. And of course, this is a complete mech grinder. It's not going to be much effort. And I'll have Crimson go out to the other groups and try to neutralize or weaken them before they arrive. Pretty easy stuff. Crimson just needs Locust Armor now? I don't disagree. I don't have the tech print for jump packs. I could start Ancient Danger hopping with, like, Crimson. Because Ancient Dangers are a really good way to get cheap tech prints. But, you know, with the... actually, I could do that with Crimson without having to wait for the guests. I don't want to have too many of our people leave during a guest hosting, because, like, having our base unmanned could be dreadful. But, should Crimson search ancient dangers or loot? Yes or no? Yeah, these plasteel walls are taking a lot of heat. But yeah, this mech cluster was a big old nothing. Easy to kill. Or not mech cluster, mech raid. I'm glad I built these walls. Even the plasteel walls, like 14%, 20%. It was necessary. I had that thought of like, yeah, my walls are gonna get busted up. Alright. 2.5 minutes to vote on whether she goes 80 hopping or not. I'm gonna make a mess before it gets better. That's a bad place for that. Yeah, that'll work. So keeping the butchery separated for food safety's sake. But then making sure that it stays cold with a vent. And now we have more space for storage. And a kitchen that is somewhat impressive and nice to work in. Did everything get loaded up? Alright, gift bag. Oh. It's under a roof. Yeah, that'll do it. There we go. Experiment success! Moxy, she survived. Sweet. You guys want her to 80 hop? Got it. Who did Jean Taylor? Will be up to you. But don't vote Crimson, because she's about to have to leave. According to you guys in your poll. Also, fun-sized. You actually have a bedroom, dude. I guess it's my fault for leaving the bed there. Another thing that I might want to consider is the sealed vault has 5 days on it. So perhaps the first thing that Sapo or that Crimson does before 80 jumping is going to the vault, so that I have an active vault quest. And I'll trigger that in a minute. Yeah, I remember that laser eyes can backfire at point-blank range. Or shields, or whatever. There's a lot of reasons why it blows up in your face. Don't worry, I know. Been there, done that, want to avoid it. Okay, I'll give you another minute on the polls. Seems a bit tied right now, but you guys could be the tiebreaker. And, I'll have her start off, head into this vault, but not with these guys because they're sick. Kilgore, thanks for the gifted subs. Have a wonderful night. Cheers, dude. Pleasure to have you here. Thanks for coming by, and thanks for the support. I will continue to forget that you are not Crimson and call you by the wrong name, or call Crimson by the wrong name. All right, looks like Sapo is edging out Prof in the polls, so we'll Gene Tailor him. He's got a weakness, so we're going to try to get rid of it. The worry here is, of course, he can't miracle heal himself. So if he has a problem, we're going to need another biosculptor, but the problem is he's the one that normally builds the biosculptors. So I think before it's too late. I already put him through the cycle. Let's uninstall Fun Size Killjoy's Biosculptor and try to build another one. And hope for the best, but yeah, if he gets like brain scars, we're gonna need to put him through a Biosculpt cycle. Now our super, so one of the issues with Crimson leaving the base is like, she is our slayer. So not having her around does put us a bit of a risk. Because we don't have someone that can just go, hey, you're dead. So keep that in mind. And we have bequeathed the Pious Path some stuff, which will reduce our total value a little bit, but that wasn't really the point. The point was it was clutter in our stockpiles, so we're just trying to declutter a bit. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Vault Builders, which originally streamed live on Twitch as a marathon. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow vault builders.